Previously. What happened?
Previously,
A lot of talking.
We were at a
there's a lot
banquet.
of talking. We were at a party.
He collected that ring. I think that was that episode. Maybe it was the following one.
He owes me money.
Who does?
The guy that's the Cambion. He owes me a lot of money. Enough money to buy a breastplate.
Yeah,
Thing.
she is under the delusion that because we completed his task, we are owed over 100,000 gold.
Yep. 127? I think
Okay.
it was.
I don't think that that's her opinion, and I think that she just hasn't told him her opinion yet, but now we know what she thinks.
That breastplate actually already sold to somebody else.
No. Oh my god. So I'm gonna have to like kill somebody and take it from them.
I like how that's the alternative. Oh, well, now I have to kill
That's the
someone.
only alternative. Oh, that hurts so much.
We couldn't know that, even if that is the case.
I'm gonna assume it's not until she does talk to someone. And
Last
they tell her that.
time we got to a party and saw the Queen of the Dark Elves and Nash arrive at a party, and everyone was like, "Holy shit!" Apparently, they're the Queen and King of Namina now, or something. I don't remember. You saw another gentleman summon a dragon.
What was that last part? Because that's
That's
that
not
was-
correct.
Yeah.
A lot of details, boys.
Yeah.
We were at the party for a little while. We kind of fucked around. Didn't do a whole lot. Carol
Following
got in
people
a fight
around.
with an orc.
Yep.
We watched the sorcerer, whose name I do not recall. The guy who leads the head guy at Skull.
He's a wizard,
Or wizard.
and he's not the head guy at Skull.
I mean,
He is a
Oh, he's
part
the head-
of the
yeah,
of Sacantus Arcanum. He's not even the lead of Sacantus Arcanum. He's just the evoker.
Edwin or something is his name.
Yeah, Edwin
Right.
Arkland.
And
You met
saw him
his.
summon a dragon
Mhm.
temporarily.
Yes.
Then we saw Donovan show up, and
We
some
also
Knights of
saw-
Karn.
Richard Town's son.
And they had, true.
Big true.
Yeah,
Big true.
the dragon, wasn't he?
And you will recall, way back when, it's probably like 20 years ago at this point, when you guys were fighting the hag, and you were looking through that book that she had that was like detailing the bodies that she took and stuff, and what she collected off of them. She said in her book that she killed somebody named Wesser, that's that guy's Wesser, Tom, and took that dagger that you guys sold in Jelrin from that guy's body.
I got the impression it was his mom was killed by the hag.
Could have been that. Who knows? In any case,
Too deep of a cut for me to even remember.
yeah. Yes. So you talked to Edwin Arkland after Donovan talked to him for a while, and Nash was talking to him for a bit. Did Nash? I think Nash might have brought you over to him
We talked.
Yeah, after they talked to the Knights of Karn.
after you guys. Yes, the Knights of Karn also talked to him. There's a lot of people bothering him that night, as it is with political parties basically. And other than that, you guys saw Mandout Dweir there. He taunted you guys and also accused Nash of what is it? Colluding, I guess, with the enemy, you guys. And then you also saw Danamore Razor there as well. So there's quite a few
So
Sacantus
everyone is
members here.
for sure.
Well, there's at least 5 other members of the Sacantus Arcanum. So not everybody, but there's quite a few.
But almost all of the major players in the
Yes.
world are there.
Yes,
At least as far as
pretty
we're
bad.
aware.
You guys had just finished up talking
Including
with,
ourselves.
including
Pretty major
yourself.
players.
Yeah. I mean, you got the king of the Hollow Peaks there. So, you guys were just finishing up that conversation with Edwin, and that's when Mandout Dweer came in and was like, "What the hell are you doing, Nash? You're talking with these guys." And then you guys said to Nash that he kind of spilt the beans to one of those
Somebody
sisters.
did.
Yeah, so somebody did, and he was pretty mad, punched a wall, and then kind of stormed off. And
Also gave us some instructions.
did he?
I don't recall exactly what they were, but it was something like 3 days, this, you know, something like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, he probably said to contact the boy,
Jim Darren.
Jimdar, in the car. And so you got to contact Jimmy in 3 days for your payment. But we're gonna pick right up there. And so you guys are still in this lavish hall, kind of reeling from the emotional outburst from him, or you don't really care, but he stomped off and he kind of made a little bit of a scene, but people are kind of focused on themselves a little bit more when it comes to you guys. While they are looking at Kirill with his crown, you guys aren't. You guys are kind of like an unknown, and so like your gossip isn't that important yet. People are more concerned about what's going on with the queen that's here and the other Sacantus members, if they're listening in at all.
Yeah, and can you remind me, what did Edwin do when we were done talking to him? Is he still sitting there, or did he go to talk to somebody else, or is he just like, hey, all right, I need to think about this. Can you leave me be? I don't really remember.
He did the last. So he said, hey, I need to think about this. Can you leave me be? And you guys kind of walked down the hall away from him. If you want to, you can see what he's up to now.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
Sure, I knew what was going on.
So you guys are just kind of awkwardly standing in a hall next to a damaged wall. And just kind of humming and hawing. There's people who kind of walk around you and give you some little sideways looks. But eventually, not too much longer after that occurs, there's a dwarf that comes up to you. And he's kind of hobbling with a cane. And you can see that his eyes are very clouded over. And he's completely bald on top, but he still has this long side hair, basically, that goes down. It's all bleach white at this point. Kind of taps his way over to you very slowly, and then a soft voice, he says, by the gods. Squinting at Kirill. It can't be. Why is it on the head of a human and an outsider, nonetheless? He kind of pokes you a couple of times. It's his cane.
Story.
Was it rightly got? You defeated Charles.
Of course.
No, that's
Bastard.
not possible.
What he says is true.
That bastard elf got away, though.
Mercadian. He was a good man. Good elf for what he was. I knew him, and I would say he was a good guy. But what do you mean he was there?
He was a shade of him or something.
Well,
I mean, he seemed.
I never braved the trials myself, although I do have the claim to it. I'm an Ashblood. Darien Ashblood, to be exact. And he reaches his arm out to greet you.
I raised my arm back in response.
Takes it. Says,
We pull it away. Psych.
yeah. Your name, sir?
I'm Kirill.
Hero. Oh. Are you claiming that seat then? Are you saying that you're Hero Ashblood now?
No.
Oh.
I think, that city belongs to the dwarves who live there, and hopefully one day they can return.
Oh, by my count, there's not many dwarves that live there these days. Most of them split off, if they are even alive. It's pretty few in number now, and especially the royal line. Only probably 10 or 12 of us. It's getting pretty messy with all the new dwarves that came in, but maybe one day we'll get the kingdom back. It seems like you're not going to be helping in that, though.
We got rid of the dragon. That's something. We cleared out many of the salamanders that were there.
This is all news to me. What you mean? There was a dragon there?
Yes, there's a shadowy dragon there.
And salamanders too. They rose up against us. That's very strange.
Yeah, there was a Jinn underneath at the very bottom, who was enslaving what little dwarven population remained there, and put a stop to that. And we evacuated the dwarves to Jellerin, but we haven't quite.
You speak truthfully. Then this is all real. And he kind of looks around to the rest of you guys.
Yeah. Definitely real, all right.
It's probably like 100 or so, maybe more, like 100, 200 dwarves, something like that. Not all of them were enslaved, but
I was expecting something in the near thousands. That's good.
We even cleansed the dragon.
Oh, cleansed him. What do you mean?
He wasn't doing so hot, so we cleansed him. And
Well,
figured
yeah,
out
you
he was
cleansed him by.
Sorendor.
Oh, that name's familiar. Oh, yeah,
Some kind of old
yes.
dragon. I don't know.
I think he served alongside. Who was this? Dolometh, of course.
yeah, and he sure doesn't think Mercadian's such a nice fellow like you do.
No, I can say I'm not quite the. I wasn't exactly involved in the politics at the time. I was only a kid. But if everything you say is true, well, there's nothing left for me to do but to serve the wearer of the crown. So, and he kind of bows his head. I pledge my service to you.
Kiddo.
I think your service could be best used in Jellerin, helping those refugees that just fled from the mountain.
Probably haven't made it there yet. I wouldn't think. It's only been, I don't know, 5 or 6 days.
I'll reach out
And,
and shake his hand. And say,
Okay, he
Tammin,
shakes yours.
pleasure to make your acquaintance. What was your name again?
This is Darian Ashblood.
Darian Nashblood. Pleasure to meet you.
So, you sent these dwarves out. Is there something that you wish them to do, or place that you wish them to go? I can head out this very day, this very night, to Jellerin, to collect back up with them.
We told them to go to the Blast Zone Inn because it's a dwarven inn, but it was mostly for their safety since they were being enslaved and mutilated by salamanders.
Fair enough.
And I hope one day they can return.
Do you want them to just stay there then? That's the plan?
For
I've
now.
got pretty deep coffers. I can probably help them out in that way.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. They've been through some rough times.
Oh, if that's the case, then I'll depart this very hour. Oh, I hope to see you again soon. Then they'll need some more direction in the time. It seems the Ashblood clan's fallen on very hard times, especially if whatever you've told me is true.
I think that if you meet up with them, knowing what we know now, you should definitely get them to leave Jellerin.
What What do you know now that would make Jelrin unsafe?
Many things.
I would say there's fitting to be a war in Jelrin, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a very pretty one. So
Oh, then that's
I don't
all the
know
more
the
urgent.
outcome of what will happen, but I don't think that they're in any condition to fight, and if they're not going to fight, then they shouldn't be there.
Okay. Well, I'll go there and I'll organize with whoever's in charge, and I'll reach out to you as I can. Do you have the capability of reaching out to us?
I think we still have a message scroll thing, don't we? That we were supposed to use.
I think we
for
never
somebody else.
used.
We burned one of them, I think, for something else because you messaged. But I think we still have another one. I'll have to check on my character sheet.
I
though,
thought we
'cause-
had 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we had several.
Well, we were supposed to use them to talk to that guy in that city, but I think that city no longer exists.
They are
if I'm
not.
correct.
They did get destroyed. I do not have message scrolls written on my. No, I have 2 scrolls of sending on my character sheet.
Yeah, it's not message, it's sending.
Yeah.
I do have 2 of those. Why we want to?
We could get in contact with you potentially. I don't know where you should go.
Don't extend yourself. Don't expend any scrolls or anything. I'll just try and keep in touch with you as often as I'm able. This is a trifling matter for me.
You can ask the people at the what's it called, Blast Zone Inn.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask the people at the Blast Zone. They're good folks. I'd trust them with my life. So I would, if they have any advice on where you should go, I would trust it.
That's what I was going to ask next. If you had any advice on where they ought to go.
Wait, do we not own land with peasants on it, and
No.
it is ours?
No, I don't think
The
so.
Knights of Karn are
Pretty-
backstabbers.
They are backstabbers. That's why they gave us shitty land. My point is, we own
they didn't
land.
give us. Trust me, there's
we
no land
didn't-
there.
Well, we've never
Tom,
been there.
We've never been there, but Tom, didn't we get papers saying that we were like basically lords over this?
You sure
Land.
did.
So we have, and like they're official papers, right?
We've also been
They
told
sure look like it.
My
the
point
Knights of
is,
Karn routinely break promises and
No,
lie to get their way.
I don't know about all of that, but I do know that they
The mage literally
gave
told
us-
us that in the shop.
they're basically shitty people, and I think they gave us like a swamp essentially, and people who are probably
gave us
starving
nothing.
and blaming us. But
They did give you land. There was no specifics given about the quality of land that you were given. And there was that mage that casted shade on the deal that you made. But other than that, you don't know. You've never been
This is the
there. You've
bottom of
never
the
tried to
ocean.
claim it or anything like that.
I don't think we
Yeah.
should be making,
I think
promises
it's a very-
or indications for people for
I
things
think
that
that
we
would be
haven't
a fine
verified.
idea, but they're very far from that place. Like, very far.
yeah, but all they're gonna have is like
In,
time
like
to walk.
actual months to get there.
Yeah, and that's fine. But they could potentially just have a place to like if you don't have a home.
Well, if I
Yeah.
can chime in, I could send quite a few on a daily basis to pretty much anywhere in the city, or well, not in the city, in the country of Banthashon, the continent. Let's call it that. I mean, I even still have Organdia and Solura. Not that that'd be a very safe place to go, but I've got Dartmouth. I've got Morocco. Jelrin obviously doesn't sound like a safe place to go, but we could even go farther west and go to New Rivers or Uthan's Landing. I mean, however
all
you
of
would
those
like.
places sound much nicer than any of those sound great, as far as I'm aware. But I have not been to many of those places, so I do not know what's going on there.
Sure. I suppose I might need to do some scouting for. Huh. In any case, if
Can I-
this is your charge for me, then I'll get to it.
Can we have him scout the land that we've been given then? No, we're busy
my
doing
God.
other stuff. So I mean, if he could like check it out and find out what's wrong with it.
It's so fucking far away.
Yeah,
it is, but
I don't think we should be
literally-
sending this guy on a random errand. I mean, this guy sounds like he could unify these broken people. He's like a Ashblood guy. So
Yeah, he should
we
probably
should
be
make
wearing
him
the
reunite.
crown.
We should tell him to
over
Can you
reunite.
pick up
with
my
his
Hero.
laundry real quick?
Isn't it like way over here or some shit?
It's like over
yes.
here,
Yes,
Morocco.
south of Morocco is where it is.
I
Yeah.
have to like zoom out to see where you guys are pointing because I don't see it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
over
it's because
here.
it's really far
It's
away.
200 miles. It's very
Yeah, but he
far.
was willing to walk up to Solura. I mean,
Oh, I'm not walking anywhere. I'm just going to make that clear. I am going to use a teleportation circle to get there.
Oh, very
Okay.
Well, if you go to Newark, north of there, we supposedly have land.
we want to like give him like the
but-
details at least if he wants to check it out because we literally don't know is the problem.
There are papers that you
said
have.
teleportation circle. Do you know?
Mhm.
Do you have the ability to teleport
Yeah.
to Jelrun?
I do. That's why I offered to go.
Very nice.
He laughed when he said he's not walking.
I think.
He's
No,
below him.
I heard that part, but he might not know certain circles. He might not have them all.
Follow the development of you outsiders pretty well over the years, so I've been most places.
Aren't we going in that direction? Wouldn't that be like awesome for us? Aren't we going back to kill the Jinn? Wasn't that the thing?
Yeah, but we're gonna go in. We're going into the
Yeah.
the Hollow
Oh,
Peaks
are
again.
we? Yeah. Well, okay. The Jelrun's right there. I guess we also have the other circle that we could show him
I
that teleports us
think
directly back
I think
there.
Jelrin's going to literally burn in a pile of ash, as we saw in our vision. So if we're talking about
Sure.
Why?
Lost
places not
so
to
nice.
send,
What are you talking?
I think
The
people are
pods.
losing their internet right now.
You were saying something to the effect of the gentleman is going to get burned down to the ground, and he's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I must cut
It's
out
because
a while before that.
yeah, you did. Misha likes
you
to
guys
run her
were
mouth
talking
about things
about-
that we don't tell everyone.
well, she wasn't in
And
character
Kirill.
speaking, so it was.
Well, how are you communicating to your brothers and sisters outside of character? Are you
Yeah, exactly.
telepathically
You're
talking
definitely
to them?
saying this in
True.
front of the guy. So
All right,
Pig Latin.
Eldrin will.
we're headed
Turn
over to
to the
Jelrin anyway.
Are we though?
Are we killing the Jinn or what? What's the plan?
Heading to Eldrin. We are
Well,
heading.
he's not in Jelrin. I don't
You're right,
know.
He's in the Hollow Peaks.
That is where we will
Where are the
go.
Hollow Peaks? Jelrin.
Those are two totally.
You could say that.
We
guess.
should
It took you a couple of days to get to.
Sure. I mean, the other thing is, do we have... So this was the other part of my question. The only other way to get further in without going to Jelrin, to my knowledge, is to use the circles we found. So we could either ask him to teleport us there, or someone in our party has teleport. I don't think we do.
Ay. I have teleport. That's how we got here. What do you mean?
That certainly makes sense.
Yes,
I'm
I
sorry,
do.
I thought you had like a scroll. I didn't know you like actually knew the scroll.
I can't take us to Jelrin, but I could take us back to the
Okay.
where we came from.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, okay. So they need to get out of Jelrin right away, is what I'm gathering from this conversation, and you might want to be quiet because I think there are dignitaries from Jelrin here. So
Yes. They are bad people.
I would imagine so. They're going to let this happen on their watch. So I will go there and I will try and get as many people out of there as I can.
They're demons.
And I guess for now I'm just gonna send them back to Skull. That makes the most sense to me.
Seems reasonable-ish. Hey, and you know what? You tell the Blaststone people that Haldir said they should also leave.
Sure, absolutely. Could do that. If there's anything else I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. At your service once again, Kiro.
I'll keep that in mind.
When you bring your people here, will you remain long? Once you presumably find a more permanent solution.
Well, they can stay at my manor for a time. I don't know how many there are exactly, but
Weren't there about 100? There was a large number.
I'll have to assess the situation as it is. Shouldn't we just spread word to everybody there that there's going to be something terrible happening?
Well, I wouldn't go
you
running
know,
your mouth about that information.
I see where you're coming from there, but I don't actually know that something terrible is going to happen in Joran. It's just what we think. And I also know that there's some pretty nefarious motherfuckers there. And if you go around telling people those things, you might end up dead.
People do not like to hear that they will be cleansed in fire.
Yes, and neither do the
Suppose-
cleansers. Like to hear that their plans are made known.
I don't know what she said, but I'm not trying to burn the place down. That's not my intention.
Okay. Well, I suppose I'll get to it then. Like I said, I'll take them as many as I can to Skull. But it sounded like they're not there yet. Don't know exactly how it will all work.
I don't. They could be. Well, there's two groups. One group was, the ones who weren't enslaved, but were, bunkered down, sort of under siege, and they left. Oh, I don't know, maybe a day or two before the other group, the ones who were enslaved. It's entirely possible they could be there, but I don't know how quickly they're traveling.
Sure. Well,
They should be there within the next 2 days at the very least, I would think.
I hesitate to ask just because we've already delved into it a couple times, but do you know when this will occur?
I would expect under a week. When exactly, I cannot say.
Okay. Well then, I ought to get to it right away. But and he taps the stick a couple of times, kind of looks at all of you, giving you guys each a squint and a nod, and he starts off and away out of the tower.
So
Now,
what do
what
you
are we
guys want
gonna
to do? It sounds like Haldir doesn't think we should go back there.
No, I think that's fine. You just kept saying we're going to Jelrin, and they're not the same place,
Sure,
and they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
really
Well,
close. I mean,
thought that
they're
we had
like,
no way into the thing, but
Yeah.
if you have the spell, then we're good.
I would also say now seems like it would be a great time to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to get my
Because,
items back. Plus, get me the fuck out of here with all these crazy people.
Because Manda Dwyer and the other lady are here, which means they aren't there.
Oh, you're so smart.
So,
Well, for the record, we know Mandout has multiple shell bodies.
well, sure, but we don't know if the same can be said about
Yeah,
Miss
she's
Razor.
not here, so that's good.
We'll
She's
do
not-
a sneak in and kill a Jin who has eyes for Tamon.
Yeah,
I would
I'm ready
think
to
if
roll.
we could go, I don't know. If we went tonight, I think it would be preferable.
I agree. Could leave
I-
immediately if we wanted.
We should leave immediately.
Before
I'm trying to get my
a
items back. What's
goes
okay?
down.
Let me ask this question. Maybe this is like had been said and maybe it's obvious and I missed it. But about how long does it feel like the party has actually been going on here? Has it been like an hour or 2 hours?
It's
much
probably been
shorter?
2.5 hours in total.
Okay. I mean, things seem as lively as ever. It's not dying down in any capacity.
If anything, there's more people here.
Sure. Okay.
It's not like that late, right?
No,
We
No,
came
it
in
started at like 5 or 6. So
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still going on, still bumping.
Still pumping up the jams.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah, I
Drake.
think we should. I think we should head out.
Well, actually, let's say goodbye to your friend, and then we can make our exit.
I'm not
You
sure he
wanna go
wants
say
us to
goodbye to
say
your
anything.
orc
to him.
friend, Carol.
I don't think he's still here, but no.
Okay.
You look out of the corner of your eye. There's 3 orcs. Death glaring at you.
Oh boy. All right.
So is your intention to start heading out? So you're in
Trying
kind of
to
like the main
leave.
hall. Okay. You said you were going to say goodbye to somebody. I don't know who you're referencing.
He said maybe we should say goodbye to Wizard Man, whose name eludes me, who invited us to the party.
Albin.
Albin.
He's macking on some girl. He's
Alvin.
But I'm under the impression he would
He's
not
probably
appreciate
trying and failing to hit on women.
that. So I think we should just go.
He said he didn't want us ruining his game.
It's true.
yeah.
We'll leave him to his failings.
Okay. So you guys begin to head towards the main entrance that you guys came through. You notice as you approach the main hall, the entryway, there is kind of a clump of people there. Some of them are coming in, some of them are leaving. But amidst that throng of people, you do see Albin, and he is there hand in hand with Danamore Razor.
Oh boy.
And
Dancing?
no, they're leaving.
Yeah.
And you also see
Whose items does
Cool.
he have?
no. The Queen of Jelrin is there and is talking to them. And they looks like she's pretty upset. Or not upset, maybe just intense. And she's not speaking to Albin. She's
I'd like to
just
get
speaking
close
to
enough to eavesdrop on the conversation.
Sure. Are you attempting to not be noticed while you do
No,
this, or are you just moving
There's
in?
a million people around them, right? So not really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to blend
Okay.
into the crowd.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Sure. Keeping up with the theme that I can't fucking perceive. Shit. A 9.
Yeah. Okay, so it's just very loud in here as the fevered pitch of voices is rising as there's more and more people arriving. So yeah, can't really catch anything, but the conversation continues for just a few more moments after you guys notice that it is occurring, and then the pair leave, and the Queen of Jelrin turns and looks in your direction after kind of scanning the room. Not your direction, Tammin. Specifically, Misha and Kirill.
Misha is still in the mode of like, no way, you're actually looking. Like she just
trying to
stares.
get the crown.
No, she can't help it. She just isn't good with like social interactions, so she's just like locking eyes and not realizing this is not appropriate at
Can't handle
all.
this situation.
Yeah. And again,
Well, I mean-
she is wearing the crown that you guys recovered. I don't know if that was lost in the.
Oh no, she's wearing our
memory.
dad's crown. No, she.
Yep.
I got it.
Oh
I
yeah, I
have it.
remember that.
We definitely
Yep.
remember that.
So she locks eyes with Misha for a couple of moments, and if you also recall, she was carrying a mace with her that she was allowed a weapon here, apparently. And she, with no escort, walks up to you, and without saying anything, so she's usually like probably like 5-6 feet away from you. She just kind of like looks you, gives you a once over, both Misha and Kirill. Her eyes kind of stop a little bit at Kirill's crown, and then she speaks in Elvish just a couple of moments. Does anybody speak Elvish?
Yes.
Okay.
Check.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
No. Oh, you do as well, Misha?
Yep. Elvish, Halfling, Common, and Goblin.
So it's not a perfect translation to what you know in Elvish. It's kind of maybe almost a slang, but you kind of make out that she says something to the effect of like trash or filth. And then she kind of flashes a brief smile. It says, "It is wonderful to see other purveyors of the faith here in my midst, in this faithless place."
No.
Yeah, she
Misha and
definitely
Kirill, right?
seriously just looking. I was not aware that you actually followed the faith.
Oh, yes. One might call me the high priestess of the twins. And you've been making waves in my pond.
Hmm.
Is that Kirill's actual response?
Is your
Hmm.
pond Gelrin or is your pond a purview of the gods?
She thinks on the question a moment.
What did you ask? Sorry, the what of the gods?
Purview.
I suppose it is both, truthfully. But in this particular case, I'm speaking solely on Gelrin. I've been informed that you have interfered in some matters important to my husband. That's very disappointing. From people of the same faith, we should work together to reach the same end.
It is strange that the faith is not more prevalent in the land of which you are a ruler. Many insulted it, even as we were there, a heathen religion.
Yes, well, they will know. They will know soon enough what power we have.
The power of the gods have, you truly mean yes.
Yes, of course. The power of the twin.
What game is it you're playing?
Tell us your secrets.
Simply
Feel
spreading
free to
the
keep them.
religion.
Keep us alive.
Spreading the faith. That is all.
You
She
spread
gives
the
you
faith
she gives you
closer
a
around.
really like wide and bright smile. She's a very striking individual.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
What is your game? Do you have word from the twins that you must complete these actions?
As High Priestess, truly you must also have gotten their word as well.
I know it's better than anybody else's.
Then you must
Some might
also,
say I have their ear as well.
then you know what we must do.
What is that?
Follow
It's no
the
concern
order.
for such. You shouldn't concern with such trash like us.
This is true. We are but low beings as it is. Yes? She's actually looking at Tammin because she's like not sure.
I can't. I mean, I don't think I was privy to this conversation.
What?
You're literally
you're here.
around
Oh, I
us.
thought I was in the crowd.
We're all
yeah.
here.
You
You're
you
just
could be
being
in the crowd
quiet.
listening with them. I mean, listening
Well,
to
that's
it.
where I thought I
Yeah.
said that I moved.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
would
she came
consider
and
myself
talked to
trash,
them.
or any living beings trash.
Well,
Certainly
that's
not
simply
myself.
not true. There are
What defines
certain
trash?
figures. A detriment
Such as
A
what?
detriment
Such as who? Who's
to the
trash?
space that they exist in. I think anything that falls under that category is trash.
Okay. Who's making that distinction?
At this current moment, I am.
I see.
I will give you this warning. Stay out of the business of the gods. And stay out of my business. Or you will suffer.
These two are followers of your god. How can they stay out of the business?
Are they? Let us see them divine some power from them. She kind of flicks her wrist.
This place is definitely
I
beyond
step
us.
back as if I'm waiting for some kind of we're definitely going to display our. They're definitely going to display their capabilities.
I think you would already know there's no magic allowed in this
No, I don't know
place,
shit
I
about
assume.
magic
Oh, you
other
don't?
than my
Oh,
own
okay.
Yeah, yes, you do. You tried to do
Yeah.
it. Well, yeah, you don't know about theirs, but you tried to do
Yeah.
yours and it was dispelled. Yeah.
The owner of the facility, of the home, has not deigned anybody to use any sort of magic. It is rude, and again, as we are but guests. Plus, it is not right to just flaunt. Is that right?
She kind of gives like a half smirk and like she's hiding something or she knows something that you don't, basically. And says,
Yeah, she can cast in here.
Yeah. No, Misha knows that. She's seen her do it. She's just, obviously Misha can't.
her eyes
Take it
kind of
to the road.
flare up a little bit. Like the little embers that are already burning there glow just a little bit more vibrantly. And she says, I will give you a taste of the hopelessness that is to come. Should you continue to pursue this course. And she grabs her mace.
She's going to attack us in this fucking place. Let's find out.
I was promised
I'm about ready
by
to do something.
by
except I
Edwin
have
that
no
we were
items.
safe, so she's just
Yep.
gonna stand there and take it if it happens like a champ.
Yeah. She holds it out in front of her. And there's just this whirl of magic that pops up from her wrist and spirals up the mace. And then she, after just a briefest moment, you see like a crackle of lightning as well that streaks through it. And then she stows it.
Wow, very
I-
impressive. And I'll give her
Do
the
we-
golf clap.
Feel any sort of difference or
Mm,
anything?
Make a perception check. Misha, you do feel just like the slightest bit of a tingle that just kind of like runs down your spine. And then there's almost like a bit of a cloud that's just kind of hazing your thoughts. Like you can still sense everything. It's just like this, you're like almost like pushing through a haze or perceiving through a haze as you are going through your thoughts. Kiro, you don't know what this bitch is talking about. And she stows the weapon.
Is that really the best thing to do inside of the home of another?
I did not strike you, and I wouldn't dare, not on Edwin's crowns. Any other place, any other time, I most certainly would have.
Likewise. And I give her a smile, and I start walking out.
Okay, perfect.
What did you say your name was again? I already know who she is, but I'm asking her.
Oh, the
She's-
Taman, that's the usurper.
Oh, okay.
She scoffs at you, and she just starts walking away.
Certainly, trash would never have to display such flagrant use of their abilities.
We can walk away, but I'd like to go find Edwin.
I would love to go get my weapon. And
You
leave.
go get her. You go get your weapon. I'm gonna go find
My
Edwin.
weapons.
Weapons.
Okay. So you guys are heading to the front door to collect your gear.
Misha will go to wherever their host would be. Her weapons are completely useless to her.
Sure. Okay. Wait. You didn't collect your weapons? I'm sorry.
No. I think my weapon I gave up was the sword that was given to me by our father, so I gave up my silver sword.
Mm-hmm. You don't want it back?
I do want it back, but I want to find Edwin before I head to the exit.
Sure.
And picking up my weapon will stop me from being able to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I see what you're saying now. Okay. So you start heading back.
I tell Misha I'll get her. I'll get the sword.
Thank you.
And so you move back through the party, and you go back to that fireplace, that central chamber, and looking in, you don't catch any sight of Edwin in the room. It doesn't appear that he's here right now, but you can look around in the other rooms if you would like.
I'll do a quick check around, but I also want to look for any kind of like paper or something because I'm going to see if I can leave him a note.
There's no like parchment that isn't already written on, like there's books, but these are they're expensive books. You can tell it just by the binding and the parchment.
You might not exactly appreciate this.
Yes. But you could certainly leave a message with one of the servants. If that's what you want.
Sure, I'll leave a message with one of the servants. It would be, as your guest, I have not been struck, but cast upon with an ailment of which I implore you, when I return, if I live, please break the bonds that have been placed on me.
Okay. And who are you that he would? I'm sorry. Who am I taking this message from?
Edwin?
No. I understand you want to speak to the master of the manor. I'm asking who you are.
Oh, she's standing proud and tall, with caressing the skull on her hip. I am Misha Valneus.
Okay. I will let the master know as soon as I am able.
I will not be back for some time, but I have a feeling I will need his aid in breaking this.
Okay. Sounds good.
If I do not live, he should know he broke his promise to me, and my ghost will haunt him.
And he's just kind of his mouth is dropped a little bit. He's just
still proudly standing there.
Yeah.
I'm just
These
gonna
are
walk
normal
away.
things, right, guys? That's what Misha's thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, this is totally normal.
Right.
So she's just gonna walk away.
Still hands on hips.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Okay. So you catch up with the rest of the crew, who I imagine are all collecting their gear.
And I would thank Haldir greatly
I
for
am
getting me
collecting
the
my
sword
gear
from our
as
father.
quickly as I can.
Collecting gear.
Your axe.
Currently collecting the only
Is
thing
the
I
axe
own.
stolen
My
since
axe.
It's worth so much money. Just kidding.
It's community axe.
Gosh.
You do know the name of the queen, though, right? Like were you just taunting her?
No, I was taunting her.
Yeah, it's Onolares. That's her name.
I just wanted
but
to seem like she was nobody.
yeah, sure, fair enough.
Trash, if you will.
Right. That's very, very fitting. She didn't ask yours, so.
Of course, I am trash in her eyes. I
You guys
probably look like trash.
fully kitted up again. Step outside into the cold winter night. There's about a couple inches of snow accumulating everywhere. It's chilly. What do you do?
I think we need to go to the inn.
Yep.
The inn, or I thought we were teleporting to the hollow.
Well, we have to find a circle.
Well, no.
You know where a circle is.
So, sorry,
That's
maybe I
not
just
how it
don't
works,
understand.
Phil.
You can teleport from anywhere to a circle?
Yes, but I'm not going to do it out in the.
Yes, of
we should go to
course.
the inn.
We'll go to the inn.
Okay.
I don't think I should just cast
Yeah,
right here in the middle of the street.
Sure.
Creased Brook, back over there. You head in. It's as lively as ever, which is to say, it's not. You basically are in a library that's also an inn. And yeah, you guys make it to your room without any trouble.
On the way up, I'll tell the guy we'll be leaving this evening and we don't need to read. We don't need any more.
No more.
This evening, sir. Does that mean this very night, or
Yeah, like we're
by the
going to go
morning?
get our things and leave.
Oh.
Like right now.
Fair enough. Would you be requesting then a refund?
How many days do we say? It's fine. Don't worry
Keep
about
the
it.
change.
Much obliged. I hope that
Maybe
you had a
that'll help
pleasant stay.
cover for the wall.
Yeah.
You did. Yes, I suppose it is a good gesture of will. Goodwill. Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys collect your things, your other things. Are you departing from this room, or are you heading someplace else?
I think we should just all pile in a room.
Yeah.
Pile in a room, close the door like the closet. Everybody into the storage closet.
So sorry. This is something that I should have mentioned before you got to the end. But Tammin, as you guys are walking there, to the inn, you get something.
Whoa. Okay. What, does someone walk up to me? Do I get some message in my brain?
It's the latter.
Okay.
The suspense.
Okay. Holy moly.
You're a little
Alrighty.
slow.
Okay. Are we in the inn now?
Yep. So you would have gotten this, and then you guys walked up into your
sorry.
rooms
Obviously, we're in the inn.
to
We're
collect
in
your
the room.
things. Yeah. Yes.
On our way back, I received a message. It's from Jonathan.
Misha's going to grab you when you say. Are you saying his name?
Yes.
She's going to start shaking you back and
it's
forth.
him. I can hear his voice. It was him. He
Oh my
would like us to
God.
come to Orgenda. And he says he needs aid. It was a
Now?
short message. I don't know of much else. He's asking something else about what path we take. That's pretty nondescript.
Should we hold off on going to the Hollow Peaks?
Where the hell's Orgenda?
Is back
I'm looking
here,
everywhere.
boys. That's where we came from, Salura.
With teleportation spell, you just have to have been at a location after a long
And
period of time,
and
and you
have
can.
a circle from there.
No,
Yes.
but we're from Solura.
Guys, I can only say so many times how this spell works. I've described it 700 times in the last 3 sessions.
Yeah, I know.
There are specific places I can teleport to at any time. Where I teleport from does not matter.
We know that.
Currently, there's only 3 locations I can go to. Skull. The other one is, I believe, Namina. Is that correct, Tom? Is that right?
I'm sorry. What was the question? The other one that you can go to, the
was
other
it
circle.
Namina, or was it?
It was in the hollow. It was not the hollow peaks. In Lycidas, the chamber of Lycidas.
Yeah,
Sanctum
the other
of
one's
Lycidas, yeah.
Sanctum of Lycidas, and the third one is the place we just came from in the Hollow
Okay.
Peaks.
Dope.
So no, so the dwarf said that like there's teleportation
Yeah.
circles just around. So I think it's possible. Like if we go to like the temple or someplace local that would have possibly a circle, they might have one in Orgenda. Like we might have to just like pay a fee if they have one. It's like might be an option.
My only
Yeah.
question, Tom, is like, so obviously, clearly, it's his voice, but like, I'm not. Like, it's very obvious that this is definitely him, or is that?
It's very obvious that it's definitely him. And why don't you make an Arcana check?
Oh God. Sure.
I'm suspicious.
As
Okay.
am I.
That's it. That's
But
all.
he said it's
gonna say.
definitely him.
It's definitely Jonathan. It's his voice. His. You can tell that he is modifying his speech pattern so that he can fit the confines of the spell. Because you
Of
cast
course.
you
I
know
did this
message,
one
right?
time. Well, I
So-
didn't do it, but I paid someone to send a message for me, and I knew the parameters.
Well, you have the ability to cast the spell message.
Oh, I have the message spell, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say you got to make that with advantage, really. And so you know that sending spell works in a very similar fashion in the sense that you can reply to what he
Okay.
is
Yeah.
sending.
Oh shit. So there's a time limit on that, right? I have to like respond
Is this
immediately.
thing on?
Would happen.
Yeah.
This would happen like
Yeah.
before we get to the end.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
what is
this
it,
would
like 40 character or like
20,
40 words?
25 words.
25 words. Okay. I will say in response. Ooh, I only get one response, and he doesn't get to reply again
Potentially.
that I know of. Glad you're alive. Thought you were dead. Much to discuss. We'll find you in Orgenda.
Okay.
And full stop.
Okay. All right. You don't receive another response, but
Okay.
Is there a magic circle in the town we're in?
there
Yes.
are many magic. You came into a hall that had a whole bunch of them.
I say we go back to the hall.
Back to the hall.
Are you? Are we sure that we should be going to this place?
No, but if are we willing to risk not going? It sounded like in the message he gave. So Tammin, what was the message exactly again? Because it sounded like he wanted to
He
talk to us
said, "I
before we
am
went to the
back.
hall.
In need of aid I can trust. Come to Argenda, inform which path you take, and I will make it clear." I'm still pretty
Yeah.
sus on it, if I'm being totally honest.
Am I mistaken, or did the Shade of Lycidas inform us that
He was
his
killed. Or his body was taken, rather.
There was
He knew
also
he was
some There was a rumor that he was seen like on the arm of this girl, right? The usurper.
That's correct.
And we were like,
Rosalind-
nah, it's not him. It's like an imposter. But people have seen him. They insist he's alive.
Well, we can have our suspicions, and I think they're very valid. I still actually think that we should take out this Jin. Only because we have a more direct route to that.
I mean, there's
I'd
not
rather
really
go
any
to
reason
Organda.
for us to. We have no express purpose in going and killing this Jin, other than the fact that we want to. Like, it's not.
Sure.
I don't think it's part of any greater goal or.
Actually, you're right. Yeah, that's not. We already killed the
I don't think
weapon
there's anything-
forgers. And
The only thing I think it was Tammond's sword. He had Tammond's sword and
That's
was
not a big
interested in
deal.
him. I think that
that's
was
not a big
it.
deal.
That's why it
Well, he
makes
has a lot
sense
of
wants to go
things,
after.
He's got a lot of stuff.
but you know,
The other option would be to, I mean, if that was our main priority, I mean, we've kind of, with the other guy, the Ashblood guy, kind of doing things in Jalrin, that kind of like closes that, at least in the near term. We have to wait 3 days to talk to Jimdarin anyway, for whatever the fuck else. Nash
yeah, we
wants
should
us to
probably
do.
go.
In
So
character.
we can teleport
Because
to
if
Lycidas.
if it's him, obviously we must go, and if it's not,
Mhm.
then we must kill him.
Exactly.
Right.
I was gonna say like there's
yeah.
in character. Misha would want to like make sure
Well,
her father's
obviously
alive,
we
and
care
if
a lot
he is,
more about
yeah.
Jonathan than anything else. So, in character.
So there was another reason as to why you were going down that path, not necessarily.
Oh, I did want to
Jin.
free our gods. That
Yes.
is super fucking important to me. But I'm okay if
Yeah,
Jellrin
but I
burns.
think
So
your dad is more important. Maybe not. I don't know.
well, that's a hard one. But no, I'd like to make sure he's okay. But the gods should be fine enough for me to come and try to save them later. I'm just a lowly cleric who's just been cursed. So
They've lasted this long.
yeah, they've lasted this long, and I'm not okay.
Well, that's definitely not how it
Been
works.
cursed. Oh no.
I've been something, and it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I know.
Girl too.
I had a
So
suspicion.
I don't actually know what it is, but I have a suspicion it's not great.
I like that.
So yeah, no, like yeah, Dad, let's go, Dad.
Go, Dad.
So I take it we can go back to that hall and check for if they do run a teleportation circle, because that is a pretty big city.
It is.
Granted, I understand it's a different country.
But you guys gather your things and you start heading towards the teleportation hall.
Yeah,
I think we better.
unpile from the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you gather your things together, and you head as a group, bundled up against the cold, and it will almost certainly be colder in Organda. When you guys arrive at the hall, you are allowed admittance, free of charge. I mean, there's people coming and going constantly. It's just a central hub to the city in general. So it's in the center of town. It's rather large as well. But as you enter in, there's like some curators or obviously people who are designated to work here. And it's a new worker from before you had originally hooked up with a gnome that was giving you some, well, not grief, but he was giving you a lowdown on what was going on. This one is a younger looking half-elf woman, and she kind of rubs a little bit of sleep from her eye as you guys come in. Mostly people are leaving this hall, but you coming in at this late hour. She says, "Oh, a pleasure to see you all. What is your destination for this evening?"
Can you get us to Organda?
Again,
Is that a possibility?
well, let me check my books here. I do have a wizard who could fit you in for teleportation to Argenda. Unfortunately, with the political situation that's currently ongoing, you do have to have the express permission of an official there by the name of Cross Agate, something like that. It was a little bit smudgy. I'm not sure who wrote this. Do you unless you're on this list specifically allowing it, I'm afraid we'll have to send word to them and get you added to it.
This name doesn't sound familiar, I take it, does it?
Nope.
Never heard of it.
Let me ask you this. Do you know of other places that may have the capability of going there that you could send us to? Or like somewhere nearer?
Sarik is near.
Yes, we don't have any connections to Sark. There was a teleportation circle in Unum and in Napoa, both of which have been scuffed to the point where can't really.
May I ask you this then? So, what if we were to go there without the permission? Is that something you'd be willing to do? And you just say, "Hey, well, you'll be in trouble when you arrive." Is that something we could take on?
We could be arrested.
We could even make it worth your while.
It would. It would not look well on our organization for us to allow that to occur, and as you had said before, it would not be a safe landing, I'd say.
All right. What about? Do you think the Knights of Karn also have a bunch of teleporters? Do you know?
Absolutely, we can take you anywhere into the kingdom, the empire there.
But I'm asking, do they have a place
Udenshire.
like this where they can send people lots of places?
Oh yes, absolutely. In Morocco for sure. I'm sure that there's also wizards of some renown in the Lord's Port. Maybe in Morrow. I'm not entirely sure if it's standing. Sending you there, though, is a simple matter.
We could try that, maybe. Thoughts?
Whatever gets us there quickly, yeah. I mean, I don't know a lot. Tammin doesn't know a lot about teleporting, so I defer to you 100%.
Trying to remember, what was the name of the guy we talked to from the Knights of Karn? Not a long time ago, like last session. Thought I wrote it down, but
He was
apparently I did
the
not.
big guy, right? That was kind of annoyed by Nash.
General Calgurin.
Ooh, definitely not the same guy.
He was annoyed with Nash, but I don't think they're necessarily at odds with what we're trying to do. At least that was not my impression.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was annoyed with Nash because Nash just kind of like interrupted their conversation with Edwin. Just kind of like barged in on that. But other than that, I don't know how much dialogue they really had in front of you guys.
I don't know that the Knights of Karn would send us anywhere useful either, but
I was gonna say I'm not sure if they would, but I mean, like, I'm willing to try whatever, because otherwise we get as close as we can.
at the very least, it's closer.
Yeah.
How far away did you say you could set, or how close did you say you could take us on your own?
Could you get us to Pix?
No, I'm afraid not. Morrow would be the closest that I could get you there. Technically, we could get you to Udenshire, but again, that's something that we'd really have to speak with the Knights of Karn about, as it's a conflicted area.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. Especially since we don't have to go to Morrow then.
No, he's saying that'd be the same as if we wanted to go to Orgenda. We'd have to get permission.
Yep. Who's gonna be easier to get permission from? The knights owe us something, right? Or say they do. We did give them the orb.
Yeah, they paid us already, technically.
Yeah,
They
who
would
needs
consider it
land? Who
probably.
needs land?
Well, you know, I
Um,
mean, we are like royal blood in Orgenda. Did you? But I mean, would that help anything?
That's true.
I really have no way of verifying that, and
Well,
I
Heirs
mean,
of Gareth ourselves.
if that is the case, then you can suffer whatever consequences come from coming in unannounced. But I would
Yes, the
prefer.
royal consequences.
it's
would
a matter of some haste. I mean, quite frankly, it's life or death. We received a message from someone we know. They're not doing very well, and we'd like to say goodbye. Its time is of the essence. No, otherwise we would just walk.
I can have our messenger contact them. It would cost you 50 gold pieces.
Excellent. I'll give him the 50 gold right now. How
If you would
quickly
please
can we
then,
send this message?
I will see how busy he is. But if you could wait in this hall for...
If he needs
I'll
more gold
bug
to
him
make it quickly, let me know.
And she kind of starts moving off in direction
I've
deeper into
moved
the hall.
50 gold off of my sheet.
So you guys are
so
kind of...
Can
Go
you tell me, are there... Well, I guess... why are there multiple circles here? That seems like something I should know, and yet I don't understand.
Mostly, it's to reduce traffic from each circle. So
Efficiency.
if there's, somebody who's coming from Morocco and somebody who's coming from Gelrin, you would want them to come through different portals, especially if there's a lot of people coming in. So that's why, and in the scheme of transporting, basically, you'll have these wizards who are designated to take this portal. You kind of just know a generic one that's in the hall, that's kind of like reserved for individual use by, individual wizards. So there's very little risk that people are going to pop in at the exact same time. Whereas when these larger cities, there's a lot of people moving around.
Do I think I could copy down one of these other ones?
You could, absolutely.
Well, it only takes a minute, so I'll just pick literally any of them. It doesn't matter to me. Just as a failsafe in case for whatever reason this one doesn't exist anymore. The one I used last time.
Sure. So you go to another part of the hall and just scribe down something else, and you can move fairly freely throughout this area. There are waiting benches and stuff like that in some of these places, but
Okay.
So you take that minute, and then probably another 5 pass before the half-elf woman comes back. So I had directed our messenger to contact Cross and inform him that Royal Blood had desire to make their way to Orgenda, and
Hey, we have the
they
crown.
said that it was absolutely imperative that you did so right away. So if that's your desire, then we can get you there immediately.
Excellent.
For so many obvious reasons, a trap, but I suppose we don't have a choice. Okay.
Can we leave immediately?
Yeah, I guess.
Let's
So
go.
wait, when we're going to there, the queen of this area is just the queen who just bitch smacked us, right?
No.
Oh, she is the queen of Gelrin, but she's also queen of.
So
She is wearing the crown.
Yeah.
But
Wearing the
we had
crown.
been informed that someone else, I don't remember her first name, but last name,
Rosalind.
Rosalind Namina, was ruling in
declared,
Solura, And Rosalind Namina, we know to be the bitch who was kind of had a thing with Jonathan, but was also we think responsible for his the assassins after him.
Okay.
And I don't know, but I would assume she had like ties with Jelrin, but also she must be connected to Solera in some way because it's the same name as the city of Namina.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Are they're turning on like the teleportation portal and like?
No, they're awaiting your decision on what you want to do.
I just have a feeling we're gonna walk in there and be like hands up. So if we go, Misha's walking in, hands up,
these
like
guys
just
aren't
ready.
royalty, but then we'll be like, yo, we got the crown.
I think
you have the crown of the Hollow Peaks,
correct?
Not the crown.
Well,
I mean,
you
that
said royalty.
might not be relevant to them.
Hey,
we'll see what happens. It'll be fine.
It's a small miscommunication. Things happen. It
Yeah.
gets us there, Hey, we wing it, man. Don't worry.
Oh God. Okay, let's
I'll
do this.
do the talking. Maybe that's not the best idea, but
Hey, so before we go, can I change what's in this fucking ring? Since apparently what's in there doesn't work?
Yes.
All right. I would like it to cast greater invisibility on me, and I will expend
specify targets at the time, or
research
right now?
points.
He does have
do
to
it all
specify
right now.
Targets,
Spend 3. No, how many is it? 4 sorcery points, and specify that it will also target. Yane.
Yeah, with that axe.
By the way,
Okay.
the axe, is he being talked to or what?
He has not attuned to it.
I haven't had the chance yet. No.
Okay.
That's not a deal.
Damn.
And the activation
will
be the same as before, which I have written down here.
Jazz
Snap my
hands.
fingers, all that shit.
Sure.
I'm gonna actually I'll change it to make it not as autistic. We'll say like 2 and 1. It's
2 and
posted in my
1?
character notes.
Oh, okay. So you're casting greater invisibility on yourself and Yane. What is the trigger for it?
I snap my right hand 2 times and my left hand 1 time.
Okay. Sure. All right. That's perfectly acceptable. And so the the half elf girl is just kind of waiting. So are you going tonight then?
Yes. Sorry, I've just bit of business I had to take care of.
Of course. So if you are not casting it yourself, and it's one of our in-house wizards casting it, it will be 1,500 gold.
So the only question there is, do we think the spell slot itself is literally going to be something we need immediately?
No. I handed the 1,000. How much was it? 1,500 or 1,000?
1,500.
I give her the 1,500 gold.
Wonderful.
We value this.
Right this way then.
I can't. For the fucking 900th time, I can't go there.
Kidding. Jeez, man.
Yep.
Jesus.
It's gonna be the best inside joke.
All right.
I was definitely joking when he said that.
Okay. So you guys gather your things once again. You got your luggage, your big old packs, all your shit together, and you are taken to a smaller hall. And there is kind of a middle-aged man who looks incredibly bored, kind of picking at his fingernails as you guys walk over. She walks over to him and kind of talks softly, not like whispering, but you can't hear what she says clearly, anyways. And he kind of gives her a nod. Orgenda then.
That's the one.
Please.
All right. He goes into the throes of casting this spell. Takes a minute. The half-elf woman has walked off. With that minute, do you do anything?
No.
I'm gonna prepare something. Stone shape.
Sure.
Wait, hold on. I've got two different spells. Let me make sure I'm actually looking at one I prepared for when we were gonna go fight a monster. I'll prepare a hold person spell.
Okay.
If someone goes to attack me, I will try to hold person.
Sure. So you guys, the portal is finished. He kind of steps out of the way and gestures, rather quickly. Like you guys need to go through, like right now.
I'll walk.
Yeah.
I'll walk there.
Yep. Okay. What's the order that you're going through?
I'll go first.
I'll go first.
He'll
Okay.
go first. And then I'll...
Hal,
Same time.
Yeah, I'll walk in after.
Actually, Kirill, why don't you go
I'll
second?
bring up the
Because
rear.
you've got a crown on your head.
I'm coming in just before the end of the rear.
Did you say you were taking the rear, Yane? Or if not, I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll go the very back.
I'll
Yeah.
go in front of Misha then.
Okay. So you guys zap through. That sensation of disorientation overwhelms you as you kind of your vision snaps from one reality to another, and you're standing in a dark, a very dark room. You can see that there is one torch that is probably 40 feet away from you, and there are a number of figures that are in the shadow that is cast by that torch. You can't quite make out things very well unless you have dark vision.
I do.
And you do. You see that there are 12 individuals here, 6 of them kneeling, and then another 6 standing behind them. They all have heavy crossbows loaded and
Yeah,
pointed
I thought so.
directly at you. There's also another individual standing off to the side. And as you guys kind of all move through and come to a stop, a voice calls out to you. Halt! State your names and your business, Royal Blood.
Do I recognize any of these characters, or they're what they're wearing or anything like that, to be a faction of some variety, or no?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Okay.
No, not really. They are wearing matching gear, and there is some insignia on it. It's a little bit difficult to make out, but it's almost like it's like 3 slashes coming off of a circle. So there's like a circle, and then there's 3 upticks, basically. One up into the left, one up into the right, and one straight up.
Okay.
Okay. And he asked us to state our name and business. Is that correct?
Yeah, state your name and business, and he said Royal Blood, addressing you, kind of mockingly.
Yeah. It seems
The name's Haldir Renosi. I'm here to see a one Jonathan Garrett. Yeah, that's about right.
There's a pause.
I'm waiting for the
Your
crossbows
honesty.
to fly.
Yeah. He
Are we all
raises
through?
his hand and lowers it slowly, and the crossbows are untrained off of you guys. And you can see the gentleman who is off to the side grab a couple of the men that are closest to him, and he whispers something to them, and they leave the room, and but before they do, they tag the next two that are down the line, and they kind of also relay a message, and almost all of them leave. There's only one that stays along with Cross, and they are all departing out that one singular hall that there is briefly lit by a torch, or barely lit by a torch, rather. He kind of looks at you, comes a little bit closer, strikes some flint, lights up. Well, actually, no. Yeah, he can cast spells. He just casts light into his hand, and kind of takes a better look at you. You're here to see Jonathan.
That's correct. Well, somewhat correct. We think he's here, but figured it may just be a trap, but...
Oh, he's here.
You've seen him.
I've seen him. I'm the captain of his guard.
Misha's gonna take out her silver sword that's inscribed from Jonathan and show it to him.
Good idea.
He takes it. Is this of some import?
Read the inscription.
What does the inscription say? I thought it was just your name.
No,
Yeah.
oh, was it just your name? I thought I said
It's
something
just our
like,
name. Your
Yeah.
name.
oh, there you go.
She's
That's
gonna
fine.
do that one.
Look at this sword. It has my name on it.
How about this? Okay, she'll say like,
But I do have this,
Wiggles her eyebrows.
and I'll produce Jonathan's will, which I think I still have.
Yeah, you do still.
There
have
you go.
that.
my name's on the sword, so that perfect. You're tied to the will.
We're just showing him how it's spelled.
Sure.
He could just take the sword to Jonathan, and Jonathan would know.
Yes, well, you
He
could
may
also offer
very
that.
well do that.
Offer that solution.
As it is apparent, to take this to
How
our
do you
father.
know? How did you become? If you don't mind me asking, what do you know of Jonathan? Because last I knew, he was dead, and so obviously I'm a bit suspicious receiving a message from him and then coming here, and you claim to have seen him. So, do you know anything of this matter, or?
I'm kept in the dark about some things, but a man named Jonathan has arrived, and he has wed Rosalind Namina. And they claim that there is now a legitimate king and queen of Sulura. There are many
Yep.
who question this.
That
You
sounds
come
about
to
right.
us in perilous times. If you knew him, then you know of Sulura in general, what has happened to us.
He's my father, actually. So yes, I'd say I knew him.
By blood.
No.
What do you think? We are all his children.
That's why.
We're all
It's
looking a
called
little.
you
That
Yeah.
was a little culty.
Yeah.
We're from Sand City. Born and raised.
Your home's still standing then.
That's good to hear. We haven't been back since we left months ago.
He hands the sword and the will to the last remaining gentleman with him and sends him away.
Uh-oh. Took the will.
He's just sending him to.
That's fine. We haven't eaten it yet.
Well,
We haven't technically really used it.
it's a pretty important piece of paper, but that's fine.
I don't know who he was when you knew him as your father. The mere fact that you came to him now either speaks very poorly of your character or to the fact that you don't know who he is now. There's been an extraordinary number of executions of so-called dissidents, people who question what has occurred. I can see that you are
Then he's not
Powerful
who he
adventure.
claims to be.
Then that tells us that it's not him.
I have
We figured
But
it
I
out.
will meet him
choice.
anyway, should I, if given the opportunity.
very well. This way then. And he kind of turns, starts walking down that hall. You guys can see about 60 more feet down the line. There's another torch and a set of stairs that lead up, and there are a couple of guards who are standing watch there. It's very somber. Nobody's saying anything to you, and you're like in a very dimly lit area as you go about your movement here. You guys start heading up this flight of stairs, and you're led into basically like a jail. There's a number of cells that are mostly unoccupied as you come up from the tunnel, but as you get further and further down, there are more and more people occupying them. You probably pass 30, 40 cells, and the last 20 of which are all filled with numerous people. There is
I doubt I would, but I don't recognize any of these people in these cells, right? Or there's nothing like identifying about them, yeah? They just look like normal people.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty disheveled. Most of them are not wearing proper clothing at this point. So, yeah, no, you don't really recognize anybody, and nobody's like calling out to you like, oh, hey, it's them. So, no.
Yeah, I just meant like, it's not obvious to me that these are like old guards or like
Mm-mm.
from another area. Okay. Okay.
That's correct. You guys continue down that path, and you reach another flight of stairs, and you guys continue up through this like structure underground, this dungeon, and this time you're greeted with more of a barracks, basically, and there are a number of people who are actively training. People seem to be on pretty high alert, and as you guys come up through and Cross is moving, they kind of move into it, stand at attention, and be prepared. And some of the more grizzled veterans are just kind of awaiting a signal or anything from Cross, but he doesn't give anything. He's just walking with purpose as you guys move through this area as well. Finally, you're met with doors at the end of this long hall, and he takes a pause before he opens them. And then he moves to open the door. And you are...
This is bad.
Pause.
Leaving us into a trap.
You are... you're met with another array of crossbows.
Mm-hmm.
This time it's not 12.
It's like 50.
It's more like 40, yeah, 50. And with them is a familiar looking man.
Jonathan.
This time he is not disheveled, and as you had most recently seen him, he's clean cut, wearing very fine clothes, and he sees you, and he raises his arms. My goodness! I could not believe it. I sent that message in pure hope, and here you are. All of you. Well.
Tao is with us. She'll say as she pats the skull on her hip.
Oh boy.
Incredibly dark. Please, everybody, lower your weapons. Lower your weapons. These are my children. Come quickly.
Do they do so?
You must be hungry in this night. Yeah, they do so.
Okay.
Please.
Alright.
I'll follow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
There is an escort that kind of follows Jonathan. It's only like 5 soldiers, and they're keeping their hands on their weapons as you guys move down this fairly, compared to where you just were. This place is not very nice, but compared to your upbringing, this is a pretty wealthy manor. You can see, and he kind of leads you down these rugged halls, and you guys are set into this kind of library or reading room, basically, and there's a few tables and nice plush chairs. He says, please sit. I must hear about all of your adventures. And you gentlemen, if you could,
Okay.
you gentlemen, if you could please grab us some refreshments, a drink, each of you. Perhaps something a bit hard, and then also a meal. Are you guys hungry? Coming in the night.
Not particularly.
I'll take some fish.
What?
I ate very well, but I could handle more.
Fresh from Lake Olsk. You'll be perfectly suited there. Yes, please go ahead. And he kind of shoves them off as they close the door behind him. Go ahead.
Before I tell you anything of what we've been up to, I think we deserve to know what you've been up to. Last we knew, you were dead in the Chamber of Lycidas. And it's quite surprising to find you here like this.
And
maybe
dead
even
I
unsettling.
was. And dead I was. I was recovered. Not exactly sure by who, but they provided my body, as it were, to the priests here in Orgenda. And one of them, a chap by the name of, I think it's Olstad. Yes, Olstad. High Priest Olstad. Currently the highest ranking priest of the twins, as far as I know, in Orgenda, and he brought me back. It's as surprising to you as it is to me. I assure you, I hadn't expected to be in this situation. So,
And what is your situation?
well, now I'm to be wed to Rosalind Namina, and we are currently in the processes of bringing this kingdom back under control. I don't know if you've heard, but there's been a terrible disaster that's befallen Solura. Unum, Nipoa, Olum, even Namina, large parts of it completely destroyed by a nova
And
fire.
are you happy? Are you pleased to be in this position?
Pleased to help the people of Gelrin. Please, excuse me. Pleased to help the people of Solura. Absolutely.
And you believe
It's-
that to be what you're doing?
Oh, most definitely. We are having to
Impression I
rely.
have of Rosalind Namina.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
It's not the impression I've had of Rosalind Namina.
You've met her.
Well, I certainly know of her.
I don't know what you've heard, but it could very well be some propaganda to turn people away from us. There's a faction that very much wants us to join up with Jelrin and throw common cause with them. I'm adamant that this should be our kingdom. Our forefathers put it together.
Am I misremembering, Tom? I am under the impression currently that Rosalind Mina is the person who ordered him killed, correct?
It's definitely possible she did that. She was somebody who was frequenting his inn in Sand City. You learned that from like the innkeep that was there. He said something to the effect of that she came by a couple of times and
we
was
found something
pressuring
about
him.
that, like in his office too, right?
Yes, she was pushing for him to get married, basically, and to like claim Solura. So that seems to be what's going on right now as well. Or
I guess the reason I think that is like, if I don't remember exactly, but I remember thinking that we discovered something on the boat that was crashed with like his stuff on it that led us to believe that she was somehow responsible. I don't know if anyone else has any. I that's what I thought.
I think there was stuff like implicating her in his disappearance, but I don't know if it was. I don't think we found anything ever conclusively tying her to the assassins.
I don't think you ever found anything that was fully conclusive one way or another. There might have been hints and such.
I thought it was like.
Definitely
I thought we were, because I think it was like under her order that the stuff was shipped down the river or something like that. That's what I thought, but that was so long ago at this point that I can't fucking remember.
Yeah, it was like almost 2 years, year and a half at least. I don't want to say too much because there's some stuff that I know you guys don't know, and there's some stuff I'm not sure you guys don't know. Sure
if you're an idiot?
No, like I don't know if I told you or not. That's what it is.
His own.
Yes. So, for what I will say right now, you are very right to be suspicious of Rosalind Namina, but you don't have conclusive evidence that she killed him or did anything or like tried to kill him, sent the assassins, anything like that. You asked him if he's sure about his conviction in this, and he replied in the affirmative.
I can't say for certain, but I've long believed her to be implicated in what befell you, and that is not from anyone else's word, or this is not a recent thing that I have come to believe. I've thought that since before you even died, so I don't think it's propaganda. I could be incorrect, I suppose, but I find it quite weird, nonetheless.
Certainly. And your suspicions are not unfounded, as I believe I vaguely recall stating that she was a problem to me in the past, but things have changed, obviously. The situation is much different now. And
there's also the question of how should you two be ruling this area? How did the Queen of Jelrin obtain the crown of Solura? For I know that she has it, because I saw her wearing it this evening.
He kind of goes over to his desk, and he rummages through some stuff, and he pulls out a box and opens it up, turns it towards you, and there's the crown of Solura.
Oh boy.
I don't know that you would be stupid enough to keep that right there in the way that it is.
This hall is extraordinarily protected. We have many, many guards with us right now. And you're right to fear for its protection. I mean, this is a powerful piece of our history. But right now, there's nowhere else in Solur to keep any of this stuff.
Well, how did you obtain that, if I may ask?
It was with me when I was brought back.
And you have no idea who brought you here?
I was not informed. I was incredibly exhausted when they did bring me.
Well, I happen to know with certainty that agents of the Sicanthus Arcanum under Mandau Dwyer are the ones who defaced the Sanctum of Lucidus, and I find it nigh impossible to believe that they would set you up here like this.
I really don't know the circumstances that brought me here. I'm sorry. I wish I had more to go on and to give you, but I do need your help here. We need your help reigning in this unruly kingdom and throwing out these usurpers from Jepper. Is that not something that you're inclined to do now? I know it has been some time. I don't necessarily understand who you all have become. We had just that brief moment, but prior to that, 3 years distance. I'm afraid I don't know you as well as I used to. What are your intentions? If you did not come to help me, why did you heed my call?
To be frank, figured if it was you, then we should come see you. We figured if it's not, then we should come kill him.
Fair enough. And rightly said.
And I'm not quite sure that it's you. Not yet, anyway.
He kind of smirks. How dear, I did not expect you to be the one to see through this ruse.
He says that?
Yeah.
That's Mandau.
I snap my right hand twice and my left hand once.
Okay. And from as you do that and as he speaks those words, you can see that the shadows that are cast from the lights in these rooms start to move and twist. And
Okay.
you see
That's
a number
awesome.
of figures coming from the shades and from the shade, and you can see familiar disfiguring marks, blades
Very nice.
and crossbows at the ready.
All right, and me and Yane are invisible.
We have 40
Thank
crossbows
fucking God.
trained on us right now.
Not right now. You don't.
We're in
So
the
you were in a
storeroom
room
with the
alone.
disfigured and probably Mandau Dwyer. We don't. Maybe not.
I
but who knows?
still have that hold person spell in case we get attacked. I wasn't
Oh,
releasing that.
you are going to get attacked. We are going to roll initiative next time we start playing. So.
Oh man, there were so many. I was gonna ask him like a question, see if he could answer it. But
Yeah,
that was fine. I was gonna stab him if you got it wrong.
We'll see what happens when we return. Whatever.
Good session
whatever
minus
time that
the
was
fucking bullshit in the middle there. That was nobody's
Yeah.
fault.